Roll call.
Mr. Slota? Mr. Simonis?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Hulbert is absent. Mr. Warden?
Here. Communications.
No communications tonight.
No communications tonight. Okay, we're going to go right to open forum. Guests shall speak in an orderly fashion, limited remarks of 5 minutes or less. The speaker shall deliver their comments or concerns in a civil tone without the use of profanity, personal attacks, or other disruptive behavior, which may result in the offender's removal from the meeting. The speakers shall not be interrupted except in a matter of urgency. Would anybody like to speak tonight? Please come up to the microphone.
Hi,
Hello.
is this on now? Can you hear me? My name is Janet Beal. I live on Thistle Way. And we have had a lot of water issues in our water breaks in our neighborhood in the last few years. And I think some of it was the old Barry Hale or Burt Hale water system. And currently, EE Root is digging up our whole roads to put in new gas mains and gas services. So the road is a mess, and it will obviously have to be repaved. Is there any way that you consider doing new water lines in our neighborhood before they pave, so that we don't have to dig up brand new pavement? That was my first question. I don't know whether you can answer that, or
We cannot answer that. It's your time to speak to the board.
okay.
We won't be able to.
And then my second question, and I'm hoping that you can get back to me with both of these things, is I heard rumor, and it may just be rumor, that there is a large building being suggested or proposed right along here, along Route 12, along Front Street, that may or may not be a data center, and I wonder if there's any validity to that.
I have no information on that.
Okay.
Haven't
is-
happened.
Could someone get back to me on those two issues?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Again, Shannon Thomas here, and I reside at 6 Asbury Ave. I've expressed concerns at previous meetings in regards to the tenants at 7 Asbury Ave, and I'm here today to provide an update regarding what we were hopeful for may be the answer to our concerns. Saturday, May 23rd at 2:30 in the morning, we were woken up to the knowledge of a teen boy in our yard standing towards our house urinating on our bushes. Video footage shows another teen in front of my vehicle and one girl stating, "I don't give an F what you do to that house." The boy urinating responded, "I would take an SHIT here if I was drunk enough." 2 weeks ago, I was approached by 2 Broome County sheriffs in regards to my email to Captain Ben Harding. Now, I can tell you, I understand they're very busy, and I'm not flooding this man with emails, but I wanted to update him on what had happened to our home after the SRG officers went around and spoke to some neighbors, including the people at 7 Asbury Ave. When I asked why they were there to talk to me, their response was, "You contacted us." I showed videos, updated them on the most recent event, and was made to feel that myself and one other neighbor were the only ones with these concerns. That's not true. In fact, another neighbor, who was supposed to be here today, not only expressed concerns to these sheriffs, she also attempted to speak to them over the phone instead of on their front porch in direct view of the concerning household about their concerns, but never got a return call. While I understand the police have very important roles keeping our community safe, but when I'm pleading to people and being told that I'm the only one with the problem, it's very disheartening. Just yesterday, I watched a vehicle pull up into their driveway, not even take their foot off the brake, handed something, and drove away. Again, that's one issue. At least they moved away from being on the road. It's still not safe in our neighborhood. These people are a nuisance. I recently ran into Tom Burkhart, the CF superintendent, who was flabbergasted by these things occurring in our neighborhood. He kept saying how nice of an area it is. It was nice. It was a safe place until Chris Pelto rented out the house to these tenants. It was also clean. Now there's rats. There's been rats seen and caught by 4 different neighbors around this house. They have a shed that's filled with garbage, because at one point we decided to not pay for garbage removal, and a back porch falling apart. It appears the route that we originally thought would be the right way to go is falling apart as well. I'm fearful if I call the police over this matter, like trespassing on my property, I'm going to be the one that gets in trouble.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak tonight? Okay. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, no, just so everyone's aware, I have to step out around 6:30, just shy of 6:30 for about a half an hour today, for a family commitment that I can't reschedule, and then I'll plan on coming back shortly after 7, just so everyone's aware.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to old business. 5.1 wastewater treatment plant updates. We have an invoice there from B&L. And we have pay apps. And then a revised amendment number 5. So we just, I guess, clear things up. We had in the resolutions for this meeting a resolution to accept amendment number 5. And then there was a update made to it. And it wasn't submitted in time. So it's up to the board if they want to visit it or just push it off to the next meeting. So that's why it was put on there. Anybody have any questions?
I don't have any.
I don't, you want to go through the other ones first before we get to Amendment 5, or you're just asking what Amendment 5 to discuss at all tonight? Is that what you're asking, or?
It is the board's,
Yeah. Well, I guess if we want to stay to policy, if we didn't get it so it was out, not distributed to everybody to look at, I guess we just delayed another meeting, but is that what we're getting at?
yeah, I'm asking the board what they want to do. I mean, it's in the resolutions. If you want to discuss it, you can. If you want to put it off the resolutions next week, you can.
I agree with Dave on the process portion of it and table it.
Okay. Perfect.
That's my opinion. Yes.
Agreed. All right, everybody's all set with the pay apps?
I am all set with the pay app.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Good. All right, then we're moving on.
Yeah, no issues.
Okay. 5.2 comprehensive plan update. You can see the comprehensive plan contract on there. That's what everybody wanted to have that put on there so they could see it. Is there any update, Dave, for the comprehensive plan?
I see that Renee just sent out an email recently. I feel it's a good move because we have not heard from these people hardly at all. So it's good to know that they're alive and their heart is beating out there. But they wanted some information from her about our permits history. So I guess they're doing some work behind the scenes. We're supposed to have a meeting at the end of the month, I guess, virtually with them.
The 30th.
So I'm waiting for that meeting to find out if things are going normally, or do we have to push them a little bit to find out what's going on. So that's it.
Okay. Any questions for Dave?
This is the only update that was provided to the board so far?
That's
from-
it.
This is it?
It's been like, they haven't ghosted us, but pretty close to it.
Dave, I think they provided a schedule, didn't they? They don't have that schedule in front of me, but I was just, feels like we're a bit behind.
Yeah.
I think from the original schedule that was published. I didn't bring the
They have a
schedules.
whole list of meetings that they were, number of meetings that they plan on having initially, but it's not put on a date.
Wasn't there weren't milestones, though?
Yeah.
There was, and it was a 10-month schedule to get everything, unless we had to go through the seeker, the advanced seeker portion of it, and then it was 12 months. And that was, but it was only a month, like 10 months. It wasn't June, July, August. That was the schedule that, the last one.
But I just thought maybe there was some, if I remember right, I remember having a discussion about some milestones along the way, some reporting to the board.
There is, the schedule is on the attachment. It's on page 15 of the contract.
Oh, thanks,
And there are milestones in that as far as topics of milestones in those months. But from what I'm looking at it, from when I remember we authorized the contract, it's about 3 months behind.
I think some of the communication issues that we're having is that they provide materials such as the survey and material that needs to get out to the public, but there's nobody here to be in charge of how it gets out to the public. So I think that was the issue that was going on. It wasn't their responsibility to get it out to the public, per the contract.
Did they cite where it was? Because the survey, the website, the development, the educational for the public meetings was all in their bucket. So ability.
Can you speak better on this, Renee? How they explained it to you?
How they explained it to us was that, you know, that first meeting, they don't have a point person. When they left it up to the town and said, whatever the town wants to do as far as who's gonna do stuff, as far as the comprehensive plan committee from the town, their stuff was they were gonna provide the information, they provide the link, it's posted on our website. But as far as, like Kevin said, as far as the engagement and everything else, that is left up to the town. When I asked them about, like, when the meeting and, you know, how many are virtually, that's when we had to go back and forth, and we finally settled on June 30th. And at that meeting, when I was looking it up, just to see what was going to transpire at that meeting, it seemed to me to be a recap of what we already did. But that's what it seemed to me from the earlier emails. When we talked to them, they only had 110 survey responses so far. And when I asked them, you know, is there a plan to, you know, increase that in any way? And that is, like Kevin says, pretty much on our side. But when I asked them, I thought at the very first meeting, we were going to have, you know, here's all the committee members. Are we going to have point per, you know, chair and co-chair, or however it is that's going to work? And they said, no, the town can do whatever it wants, formal, informal, it doesn't matter to us.
That's not playing out how I remember the RFP or our conversations with them during the interviews.
Me either, because
So-
clearly, looking at this schedule that is attached in here, we're missing the deliverables.
Yeah, I know we asked Alex to attend those meetings and to be, you know, our town rep from an engineering perspective on schedules and everything, and looking at that. So I would, and then for a contract issue, I would want its office to review that and see if we're getting what we contracted for. But I don't think we are.
I was surprised that the meeting on 30 June is going to be virtual for them. They will not be here in person.
Renee, what time's that meeting?
I believe the tentative time, it's either 5:30 or 6:30. I can't swear off the top of my head. It's one of those two. I can check.
That's the end of my report.
Well, I think we would ask
Yeah.
you reach out to Alex and have him review that contract.
But I don't
It's-
wanna go hot and heavy at them, you know?
No,
but
no,
I'm-
I'd
I'm-
ask Alex
I'm-
first.
But I'm waiting for this meeting on the 30th.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if I look at this schedule and see those deliverables, you know, I would ask about that, because there's a window here,
Yeah.
right, of when those deliverables would happen. And I haven't seen those.
Yeah.
I haven't seen communication from them telling us what our response to them is that they need. And I know
Yeah,
that was one of the very specific items that we talked about, is that they are to report to the town board and tell us what they need and when they need it by.
Renee can attest to how difficult it was to contact them.
Very. Said
Extremely
it
difficult.
took several emails. I kept getting an out of office reply. I did not get a response, and I sent it to one, got several out of offices, sent it to the other, got out of that, and then sent it to the person in charge, I guess, when they were here. And as soon as I did that, then I got a response pretty quickly, and that at least got us to a 30 June meeting, even if it is virtual.
So if you didn't reach out at this point, we wouldn't even have the 30 June scheduled.
Probably not. I mean,
No.
she pushed it.
I mean, I'm making assumptions here, which is unfair, but at the same time, if they weren't proactively reaching out saying, hey, when are we setting the next date, that is concerning, to say the least.
Okay.
It's very concerning.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. I mean, perhaps at this next meeting, you figure out everything you can and try not to go hot and heavy, but at the same time, we be prepared to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just a little disappointed, because when they first
Yeah.
set it up, they said, oh, this is gonna be so enthusiastic, you know? We get people to serve early, but they drop out because there's not a whole lot happening, but we wanted to have that happen. We're gonna be go, 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 and it's not go, go, go.
Yeah.
Are the committee members aware of the meeting?
I believe she sent out, the last email that she sent out, I think she did send it out to everybody, because it was whatever day it was. She goes, I'll get it out to everybody by the afternoon. And I remember checking my email to make sure that that happened, and I'm about 80% sure, I can go back and check, that she sent it out to all the committee members as well.
Any confirmations?
None that came in my email.
I
So
spoke to
nobody
a
that I
few.
know that's hit a reply all
They're
or anything.
frustrated. I've spoke to a few that are frustrated. You never saw one? Okay.
I'm not quite sure if I got an email from them. I got one from Renee, I know that, but
Yeah, I'm seeing- Yeah, she sent out to everybody on May 22nd. She sent out an email about the meeting on June 30th.
Did it include the board members too?
I'm literally looking for that.
It was, yeah, she included the board members as well,
Okay.
on 22nd of May.
I do not have that.
That's weird.
It's got, and it's at 17, or 5:30.
I'm off. I got kicked offline again.
Oh, I do. Never mind. Disregard.
All right, so you want Alex to review and follow up with them?
Yes. Now, do we have an issue here if she's sending this out to all the board members? I mean, all the board members technically shouldn't be there, right? We'd have a quorum, and it's not a regular a regular meeting.
No, I don't think it's asking the board members to be there. I thought the board wanted to be involved in on all the communications.
Yeah, and that's fine. I guess I would have expected to see a different deliverable than just meeting notices. Because I am seeing it, and it's a meeting notice for me to accept or decline.
I'm pretty sure the only communications I was receiving was ones that you would forward to me, saying like, hey, we didn't get a lot of response on the survey and stuff like that. I haven't really got anything other than that.
Yeah, I think I just sorted this. And yes, the last 4 communications I have from them are all meeting notices. Anyway, I think it's time for a little deeper dive on the review and see where we are. We get back on schedule and get some of the deliverables presented to the board.
Just a follow-up comment on the attachment, the schedule attachment that's in that Appendix A, that had an optional 18-month EIS scope and fee issue. I distinctly remember when we got this proposal, we had that conversation that was outside of what the RFP was, and we rejected that agreement. And what's here attached to the document, I want to make sure for the record is noted that this is not what we approved. And at least get disseminated to us what was actually signed.
Yeah, we'll have to go back through all that because I'm pretty sure that that was the one that was signed. Because you didn't take the EIS off.
Okay.
I think it is.
The discussion was that we're probably not gonna have to do it, but we didn't remove it. Because we weren't sure if that was part of the grant or had to be on there because of the grant, or we had to,
Well, the EIS was going to add 2 months.
yes.
And the RFP was for a 12-month deliverable. And not, I don't
Yeah,
really
we don't.
get into the detail of it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I'll just make sure, I'll get you the one that was actually signed that was okayed by legal and everything.
Okay.
All right.
It's also interesting when I read through this correspondence, Nate suggesting WBNG or the news outlets doing a short segment, and it looks like that's left kind of open-ended. And whether that was the committee that's supposed to take that and run with it, or why aren't they? But maybe that's a question for the meeting, Dave, is, hey, in this email correspondence, our attorney suggests this. I would think that'd be part of their services. Unless that's a subcommittee member that's supposed to be doing that, but to your point, why wouldn't they have established who's in charge of what and who's gonna take it and run with it? But just an observation.
That's good.
And that may be a perfect segue into 5.3 if we're done talking about that, because this mass notification system that we talked about could be helpful for this exact use case.
If we're good with 5.2, we can move on to 5.3.
Anybody? Any
Yep,
takers?
That was smooth. 5.3, social media discussion.
You like that? Just
do.
tee it up high.
All right, Luke.
Oh, my
You want to? Yeah.
Vanna White over here is gonna explain it. She did all the legwork on this. The brains over here.
Oh, yeah, sure, blame
Yeah.
me.
They've got a
I
face
didn't
for
even see the
radio.
bus either. But, all right, I sent the email that's got the thing that y'all have all seen.
It's attached to the agenda as well, the
Yeah,
grid.
the 4 columns.
Yep.
When we were looking at this and going for the mass media type of thing rather than a social media, like Facebook or Instagram, these four pretty much always rose to the top as far as the most used. When Luke and I were talking, it came down to pretty much two of them. And it's the one in the second column and the one in the last column. One of the things, Jay, that you had asked was about engagement. Now, in the last column, the town of Kirkwood and the town of Endicott both used that one.
Which one?
Text
Yeah, TextMyGov.
TextMyGov.
Yeah, the one in the last column. Endicott has a 12% engagement. Kirkwood has a 56% engagement. And when I asked, I talked to all of these guys, and when I asked TextMyGov, you know, what's the difference? They have the capacity, like what they have done for the town of Shenango, is they have pulled a database with, they said 13,000 phone numbers. And they did that with Kirkwood for their population. And how they sign somebody up for text in TextMyGov is that they will send out an unsolicited text message. And it's just a matter of everything's done by text. So you're going to get a, do you want to sign up for the town of Shenango notifications? Hit yes, you're in. So that's the really good, you know, it doesn't guarantee that somebody's going to say yes, but it does get the notification out there. Now, with that one, with TextMyGov, the way they work is you get a pool of however many text messages. In our case, they ballparked it at 75,000. Now, that sounds like a lot. However, the text messages, like if we have, say, for argument's sake, 8,000 people sign up, we send out a mass notification about a comprehensive plan committee meeting, or there's a water main break or something like that, and we send out to 8,000 residents. That's 8,000 out of that 75,000. And when I asked them, how much does it cost to buy new stuff? And they said it was about $300 for about 25,000 more. But that's how theirs work. There's a 1,000 character limit, and you can send out links. You can send out surveys, which is just like, oh, this is cool. They also, all of them have the capacity for two-way communication, but in our opinion, as we were discussing it, I don't think, we don't have the infrastructure or the manpower or anything else to kind of do that. We have way too many ways currently for residents to get a hold of us. So we figured one way. The pricing on TextMyGov, you know, the 6,500, 8,000, if we got TextMyGov, my opinion is that we would have to go with a premium to take care of things like doing surveys and polls, which would come in very handy. If we send out links to, you know, for anything for a comprehensive plan committee, you're going to be able to, you know, it counts, you've got a 1,000 character limit. We just have to keep an eye on our, how many are we sending? All of them will do geofencing, which is pretty cool. When I saw that demonstration, you know, they can bring up a map of the town of Shenango, and they have little, you know, red dots where everybody is signed up. If we have something that happens just over in 12A or just in Shenango Forks, you just simply draw a circle around it, hit the send button, and it will only go to those people. And that's very handy. The way it is administered here is with the case of TextMyGov, there is no app. Whoever sends out, you know, for training, there'll be a super user, and they can train the trainer kind of thing. But that person can send out a text message via phone, via tablet, but it is web-based. They don't have an app that allows, you know, one of us, whoever's in control, to send out, you know, hey, we got to send this out to all of these people. That's one of the, you know, the real estate on the phones, not real bigs, but, you know, tablets, PCs, that's how that works. The other one, Civic Plus, has got no text amount limit. They do have a mobile app, but they don't have a database that's already been pulled with 13,000 Shenango, town of Shenango names. What they would do is they said, well, we can send you a marketing stuff, and then, you know, y'all would have to take care of sending that out. And when we talked about it, I said, okay, in a town of 11,000, if we snail mailed everybody in town, what, $8,140. We have 74 cents a thing, 11,000 resident, you know. So we would have to take care of the engagement piece. That's always going to be, you know, we're not going to get a guarantee. Even with TextMyGov and their already pulled database, we can't guarantee a yes. We can't guarantee engagement. With Civic Plus, you know, there's a mobile app, there's a lot of things. They don't have the instant engagement piece already done. So I think when we were talking, for the comprehensive plan committee, for surveys, for getting notifications out, you know, we send out a comprehensive plan committee to everybody in the town, that goes for 75,000 like that, you know, if we have a lot of engagement. So there's some considerations as far as cost, but there's a pretty good benefit ratio to that as well.
I mean, my POV, first and foremost, thank you so much for doing all this legwork. My POV on this is that just because of that built-in database and seeing what the participation rate in Kirkwood is, if the first mailer is $8,000 to send out, and do we have to send a second because they don't have that built-in database, I'm leaning towards TextMyGov as a great solution because of that participation rate for something like this, and we're not getting into the game of Facebook. Those are my feelings as we've had multiple discussions about this, thinking what this use case could do for us. And that geofencing thing, you know, there's a water main break on a Friday night, we can quickly go in and draw that line and send a mass text message out to all those participating and say, hey, there is a water main break in your neighborhood. Your water's gonna have to be turned off. We want you to be aware. I think that's huge to be able to be that nimble.
Can I chime in quick? I have an Everbridge account that I do for my New York alerts when we have a sewer issue. I've been trying to work with them to set up another account for water breaks. We do not have an administrator that works for the town. It's two separate people that I have no idea who they are, which they gave me their emails, but I have not been able to contact them or get a return email from them to set up another account to be able to do that. So I've been working on this as well with Everbridge to try to get myself for water alerts.
Because
And they have not
Everbridge does a
contacted me
lot
back.
with New York State and the
Yes.
511. If you
But-
look at 511, that's Everbridge. You'll see their
Yeah.
tagline at the end.
So we're not paying for that, the state is, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Does it have geofence?
I don't think
Yes,
so.
yeah, all of them do.
Well,
They all have geofencing?
Yeah, yeah, I put that on the thing, because like I said, when I talked to them all, that's one of the things I asked.
Because I think that, to me, is the biggest.
That's huge. But
Yeah,
so
that's
Greg, when
all
they
of them.
do it for you, they don't allow you to geofence. They're sending it to the whole town if they're doing
no,
anything.
it's like a template that I have to fill out for when we ever have a New York alert. It's a
Uh-huh.
template that's already created.
And
I'm
then
trying
they
to work with
Yeah.
them to create another template with another account, but they don't return any emails. Contacted and talked to Everbridge, but they keep saying that I'm not an administrator, I can't create
Uh,
an account.
Because it's probably New York State, right?
Correct, they
Yeah.
gave me two people's names, but they have not returned my emails. So, just-
Yeah, and all of these basically do the same thing. It's just a matter of which one would work best for the town for what it is we want to do.
What's the significance between the range of these fees?
When I asked TextMyGov, I said, y'all are a little bit higher than everybody else. And for the short version is we are paying a lot for convenience, we're paying a lot for simplicity, and we're paying a lot for, you know, doing everything by text message. That's all a resident has to concern themselves with. There's no app to sign up, there's no account to log on to. If you go on right now, if you go on Kirkwood's and Endicott's
Okay.
home webpage, you will see TextMyGov stuff on there. If you right now took your phone out and texted Kirkwood to 91896, I'm going to remember that, 91896, as soon as you do that, it'll come back and say, do you want to sign up for Kirkwood alerts? Same number, you can do it for Endicott, and it'll do the same thing, because you're paying for a lot of that.
I'm just seeing the initial conversation that I thought we were talking about was a resident interaction issue where they wanted to be able to get notification from the town on whatever it was. So I fully expected to have a resident log onto the website, click onto the service, and join. And then that would just grow as it was there. I get a text on my phone, an unsolicited text, and said, do you want to sign up for stuff? I spam it, and then it's gone. So I don't know the success of just an unsolicited text. That kind of just, it's okay. I'm just telling you what
No,
happens on my
totally.
No,
phone.
because
So
we talked about
We
that.
talked about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, like I said, Kirkwood got a 56% response on it, and, you know, Endicott didn't use it, and they got 12% just going, if you want to sign up, go here.
And I get that. And I see the discussion of the cost for the mailers, $8,000. And the reason I asked about the swing is that you got 4,500 on the low end of Civic Plus and 8,000 on the high end of TextMyGov. That's $3,500. That's a couple year payback on the mailers if you got to do the mailers. But I don't think the mailers are necessary. So
And I'm not sure either, and certainly, you know, not every resident in the town lives in individual households, right? So there's a reduction there. That's kind of irrelevant to me. I guess I'm kind of looking at the features of this and not necessarily, I think what I'd like to do is continue to hear what you guys have to say and your recommendation, because I think the convenience and the features are more important than worrying about the $3,000 or $4,000 difference. I'd like to hear what that is first. I hear what you're saying, because a lot of times unsolicited text, you're right, they're gonna get dumped.
I just don't want to fall into the trap where anybody's thinking that this is going to solve our legal problems or legal solutions for notifications in public. Because
No, I think it.
So I just don't want that to be
Yeah, no.
a thought process, because whatever this does, this is on top of what we have to do
Right.
for everything else.
Yes.
Right,
I
this
I
is-
think this is an enhancement, right? I think that's exactly the way we have to look at it. You know, I think all of us have heard from several residents about the communication, specifically regarding the issue we had with the well at 12A, right? So that one is the most recent one. I think this is all about convenience. That doesn't mitigate, I don't think this mitigates any of our other legal obligations.
No, the state still, when there's a boil water advisory, we still have to take the same proper
Yes, it's
steps.
the same step.
This just may be a way for us to do it faster.
Yeah, to
Well,
let somebody know
Well,
when
to
there's a
note for
meeting.
notifications.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
quick
Strictly for
notifications.
notifications.
The other thing that we talked about was, because I also get about 100 spammy texts a day. So I think the right way to do this, to get the participation, would be reach out to the volunteer fire department, reach out to both school districts. They have very active Facebook presence. Reach out to all the news outlets and ask them to run a snippet of, next week, the town of Shenango is sending out this text message. It is not spam. It is safe. It is something that you could sign up for to engage with. It's going to be part of their comprehensive plan. I don't know. Somebody more eloquent than me can write the press release, but that would be the gist of it, to get people to understand, you know, the same way that the sheriff's department contacts those people to say, hey, you're going to get a text message saying there's a UPS package to pick up. Do not click on it. It would be the reverse of that.
And the widget, in the case of TextMyGov, at least I know I can speak of, that same TextMyGov logo and everything else exists on our webpage as well. So they can see that, oh, it exists on an official webpage. It's not going to be a scam. That's in that particular case. And it is designed just for mass notification and not in lieu of, like when we send out public hearing notices for zoning or something like that. That's not a thing.
I like it for the water and the sewer part of it.
Yeah.
Just Friday, with the water main break we had Friday, it was towards the end of the day. You don't have somebody sitting in the office here that can call it and tell them, hey, the water's going to be off for 2 to 3 hours while they fix the break. People are coming out of their houses, why is my water off? Why is my water off? Oh, you didn't get a phone call? I mean, if they're signed up for this, they're gonna get a
Yeah.
thing. We can stuff every water and sewer bill with the information to sign up for this. I'll tell you, they're all gonna sign up for it.
And
I think it's the best thing
I like
for it.
that idea, but it doesn't relieve us of having to make those phone
No.
calls,
Oh, right.
because
No.
we still have to notify the residents of all that stuff, whether this exists or not. We can't not do those other things. And that's why I
Now,
don't want to
with
fall into
the-
the trap that this is anything other than the suspenders when we have to provide the belt.
Yeah, I think I was under the impression that this conversation started with specifically a Facebook page of how do we get information out to the town in a more efficient way.
Right.
Because right now we're not doing it at all. So I didn't even view this as this emergency tool as much as I did. This is a great vehicle for surveys. This is a great vehicle to let everyone know that this particular thing is going on. This now has kind of morphed into a dual vehicle in my eyes. So I never thought about it. I see what you're saying, Gene, but I didn't view this as this will take care of that thing. But I do think this is a nice way to, I mean, listen, I live on the loop where all this NYSEG gas line reconstruction stuff's happening, and like information has slowly trickled around the neighborhood based on what's happening there. That would be something where sending out a text message, hey, NYSEG sent out the mailer last year that they were replacing the gas main, and they just showed up. It would have been a courtesy, which would have been 35 text messages or how many houses are on the loop. Hey, NYSEG is officially starting this week. Do not worry. As soon as NYSEG is done, as part of the CHIPS funding, we're going to be replacing that road. Because that's the panic now, is people are, our road's going to be like this? This is terrible. Nope. The road is going to be repaved. Don't worry about it. Like, I think of this as small scale where this could be a really nice tool.
And the integration also includes, however the cost works out, where they can do voicemail and email notifications as well as text, depending on the package as a thing.
Just to clarify, you guys are recommending TextMyGov?
And then we could put a placeholder on the next meeting to answer any more questions that you have. I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with that. This
And-
isn't a today thing, but
Yeah.
a lot of work went into this, and thank you.
You are not wrong.
But she's
So-
blushing.
So in the recommendation, because obviously when we look at this matrix, there's a range in terms of the annual cost.
Yes.
Where would you guys be recommending this?
If
I
I
mean-
was, for TextMyGov, for what they said, to integrate the, like the emergency, the weather, to do the surveys, for the voice and the text and all of that, it would be the high-end premium. That's, in order to get the most functionality, we want to send out, especially around the comprehensive plan. We can send out a survey, that's pretty easy.
And you can't do that with Civic Plus?
Yes, and that we can. Like, I did a Zoom call. They're supposed to send me the recording, which I was going to send to y'all, where I asked a bunch of questions so you can see. And both of these are, they're the ones that kept rising to the top. Plus, I like, because it's got the mobile app, I like that we can send messages out via the mobile app. I like that there's no limit on text messages. I like that there's, it's got the same short code. It's got, when you send out a text message with Civic Plus, the text is going to truncate after 160 characters. That's just a thing it does. Even in Everbridge does that. But it doesn't count against anything because we don't have a pool. It's unlimited. The consideration with Civic Plus that I liked a lot is that the engagement piece and getting people to sign up. They can sign up, I said, the link website, the short code, the mobile app, and we can create them. They can call us up and we can sit there and, hand punch in. That's also very good. When we were talking about, the timing and the benefit to the town, it became, for us it was like, I really like this one, but it doesn't have the engagement piece. I really like this one, but I've got a text message limit, and that's the decision that y'all are gonna have to.
I mean, $300 for 25,000 more is not a huge
Yeah,
lift if we're getting a high percentage of participation.
yeah.
So Renee, in the,
And I do
Civ-
have, Civic Plus sent me a quote and everything.
right, so if I look at the Civic Plus, and we can do a 12-month contract with them?
Civic Plus, I think, is the only one. Everybody else was surprisingly 3. You know, on almost, they were all across the board. It's like initial 3. Civic Plus said, you know, we can do an initial 1. They leaned 3, but when I asked them
Is there an
specifically,
obligation to 3 if you sign for 1?
I did not get that impression. I can,
You know, I didn't know if that was kind of an automatic, if we didn't act like within a 60, 90-day window towards the end of the contract.
no, I think the,
I'm just curious because it is a disparity here.
agreed. Yeah, and I can ask them if it's a free and clear 1 year. And if they will, I'm waiting for him to send me I mean, if y'all want to watch the Zoom thing, that answers all of the stuff, or I could give you the TLDR, so you don't have to.
You're gonna have to figure out where we're gonna pay this from, if you wanna go with it.
Right. Well, I think for me, I mean, I'm looking at this and I hear what you guys are saying on TextMyGov, and there's a lot of unknowns regarding our town and what the participation would be. And, you know, part of me is thinking that if there's a 12-month contract with Civic Plus, and it's just 12 months, we see how that goes. I mean, I would hate the fact of having to start all over with TextMyGov, but I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
it's always the same residents that are looking for that. You know, what will our participation be? Will we be 50% or will we be 12 or whatever it
Yeah.
was in Endicott? So obviously, we'd like to have a great participation in this. I think it could be very beneficial.
And I said
But
they
I'm
will-
not, I don't know if I'm convinced of the town's participation in this.
Roger
This is
that.
nice to put it out there and say that we did it, but I'd hate to put it out there and get a 12% response on something we're locked in for 3 years.
Agreed. Now, I do love the idea of putting it in the water bill. The whole, they said they will do, like in Civic Plus's case, they said they will do the
And I'm
the
just saying,
marketing.
unless you guys think the Civic Plus just is not, there's just other functionalities that you think will be very limiting,
No, you can-
I'm having a hard time bridging that right now. I understand what you're saying about, you know, hey, it's got a couple of these other nice features, but is there a way to mitigate around that? And specifically for me, right now, I'm locked in on the 12-month agreement.
Right. No, Civic Plus, I said I was really impressed with their stuff, and all of them I was impressed with what they said. You know, they all pretty much do the same. Civic Plus has the, you know, you can send the links, you can do the polling, you can do, you know, they have a mobile app. They do the, you know, all of the other stuff that I have listed. There's no text limit, but 160 characters before your text gets truncated and, you know, added to another one. That was a lot of it came to the engagement piece and what works best for the town for what we want to do. And, you know, both of those, like I said, I really like the mobile app.
Right.
We would have to find a way, you know, for the comprehensive plan, we got 110 responses. Like, how do we get out there that it doesn't, you know, end up in the we don't want to do this file?
And again, I'm just gonna go on the cost line. If Civic Plus was the option,
It would be the 5,500.
5,500, okay.
Yes. Because that integrates a lot of the emergency weather and emergency services and stuff like that too. iPause.
Greg, I remember a conversation about the mailers and the stuffing with the bills that was problematic.
Oh,
Can you just refresh the board on what that issue is?
Oh, I mean, there was an issue with
The newsletter.
the newsletter once. There was an issue with the noise of the folding machine. Then there's the cost of it.
And I remember the cost went up.
It's
Because of the
more
weight of it.
expensive permit, okay.
Now, I can put a small caption on the water bills,
That's what I think. would
very
be-
small, that we could put something in there stating, if you're interested, whatever.
And that's,
It's not a lot.
and it's not a cure-all because it only
Right.
goes to the water bill,
Water
or
and
it
sewer.
only goes to the sewer bill
Right.
Right.
people, but it's a
something.
method. I just wanted to make sure that I understood about the process of putting another insert into that process, which was an
I thought
issue.
there was an issue with that too.
I didn't
Yeah.
mean insert, I meant putting it on the bill like you said.
Yeah, I guess I was
That's-
thinking insert initially, but I remember there being an issue with the insert.
The Civic Plus people give us materials free of charge. So
But that would be an insert.
it would be
That
an
would be,
insert,
yeah.
or we'd have to
Or an
modify
individual
something.
mail, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the insert, yes, it might be a pain in the butt, but it's something you really notice.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Like a card or something that doesn't
But
up
the,
the
but the
postage.
insert is really just was the cost issue?
It was, yeah, it added a lot to the
Right, okay.
already budgeted.
No, I understand that part. For some reason, I was thinking there was another issue with the insert, but,
I did too. I thought it was the interjection of it not
Some-
being able to be folded and in the process, and it took another step of but we don't have to get into that.
no, but I
Yep.
remember that as well.
But you're not getting it out to everybody that way either, because there's people that don't have water and sewer.
Yeah, yeah.
That
No,
was-
but-
that
but
was
it's-
one of
But
those,
it's,
too.
but it's an avenue.
But the other one you could reach out maybe is, and I'm just throwing it out, is the schools, back to school stuff in their papers, each school district, maybe wellness place, senior center, things like that.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of avenues to explore for sure.
Yeah, too.
So I think what
Okay.
we need is if there's something you want to go with, it would have to come back to the board to be approved, and you would have to have a budget line to be able to pay it out of, and how much are we actually funding it.
Right, and
I mean, I could work with you two and try to find a line or try to find somewhere.
Well,
I-
I think I would like to know about the Civic Plus.
okay, because I have their quote. They left.
I'm talking about the term.
Okay, the term.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
can get
Yeah,
that
'cause
for the
I'll-
next meeting.
Wait, give me. I have it with me.
But how about do you want to put it on the agenda for the next meeting?
I'm leaning towards the Civic Plus provider.
Okay. I,
But,
I'm just throwing it
so,
out.
the next meeting is absolutely fine with me. I think it's a service that we
Yeah, and there is.
had a request from the residents, they want to see it, so that's fine with me.
So do you
Oh.
want to just go forward with a resolution
and I
for the
think-
next meeting
I
with the
think this
budget
has
line
both
and
of
the
them.
amount and all that?
If we have if we have an agreement on which package to go to, otherwise we would just get the information on the two packages that I think we're talking about, TextMyGov and Civic Plus.
I think that's fine, Gene, because I'm leaning towards the Civic Plus as well. And it is a 12 months initial term. It's an automatic renewal unless a 60-day notice is provided prior to the end of the term.
I'm for anything. To try it. I just, money-wise, we do have to.
Right, and I do kind of like the mobile app, And again, leaning towards me, having the 12-month and not being locked into a 3-year agreement.
Is
with-
it
I
worth
just-
calling TextMyGov to see if we can do
Absolutely.
a
If you
1
To
guys
see if
year?
we could
wanna
do a 1 year?
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
we're gonna, I would say for both of them, just as Gene has suggested, right?
Yeah.
Get information on both of them, let's see.
Yeah, let's call TextMyGov. The database thing, I think, from a participation standpoint for the comprehensive plan is like a huge, huge plus to me.
And I don't disagree with that, but my issue with the database is that these are databases that are bought and sold,
Oh,
and there's no real accuracy that these 75,000 phone numbers, there's not 75,000 phone numbers in the town of Shenango.
It was 13,000. Well, they
Yeah,
said,
well,
yeah. it
But
was
still,
13.
I get your point
Yeah,
as
but
well.
it's still-
I agree with you. It's,
Yeah.
we're talking about
It's
households here,
outdated,
right.
and and I think the importance for me, if it was a database that was, I'm just uncomfortable with the database because they're so unreliable, for whatever it is, but having both packages for us to review at the next meeting I think is a good thing.
Yeah, no. I mean, we know the only data point we have on that was that in Kirkwood it was 54% accurate.
Yeah, they have 50, yeah, it said Kirkwood's at 54, 56%
56,
participation.
Oh, but that's a significantly and wholly different thing on 54% participation and 54% database accuracy.
I agree. I thought it was 56% participation based against the town resident number.
It is.
Well, it is.
It is.
But the only vehicle that they used to get people to sign
Yeah.
up was the mass text message.
Yeah, that's the difference between.
That's what signed up after the
Yeah.
mass text message.
Yeah, Endicott has
But-
15,000 people.
You don't know if that's 56% accurate.
No.
They could have had 100,000 numbers.
Well, no, they didn't
No,
have
they
that
have
because you pay
56%.
per text.
That's true, 56% of the population that they had, that the listed population, 5,000 people that's in Kirkwood, 56%, I see what you're saying.
Right, I just didn't know what
Well,
the
no, they definitely
starting,
didn't send out 100,000.
well, whatever
Yeah.
that base
I mean,
number
I'm
was.
sure we could find it
with
out.
the numbers, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I agree, the accuracy rate is not equivalent to the participation rate.
Let's get all the information for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
do you
you.
just want the 1 year?
I'll work on a budget
I do.
line.
Okay, if there's anything else besides the terms, like if they can both go to 1 year, is there
And
any
you
other?
have and then just include whatever contracts they send in the agenda for next time for review.
Roger that.
The information that was here that I didn't see, and I know you explained it, but I'd like to be able to see it, at least between Civic Plus and TextMyGov,
Mm-hmm.
is what constitutes the difference in the ranges. Because I understand what your recommendation is, but,
Yeah.
but
The-
why am I paying, what am I getting for $8,000 that I wouldn't be getting for $4,500?
For, as far as the.
But you can
yeah,
put all that stuff together.
Right, just for GWIS, for TextMyGov, the difference is they have a core package, they have a premium package. The core package, which is the lower end of that number, is they have texting only, no surveys, and no integration with emergency services.
Mhm.
And with the premium, you've got all of that.
Right. I need to see that as part of the document so that I can read it, understand it. And
Say,
it-
okay,
it's
an
part of-
itemized- No,
It's
that's-
part of the decision.
Okay, an
making
itemized
process.
list of what
Of
all the
what-
stuff costs.
Right, because what are we not getting? Because if you can take the high end of Civic Plus and the low end of TextMyGov, there's still $1,000 disparity.
Roger that. Okay.
All right, thank you, Renee. Thank
Yeah,
you, Lou.
Thank you,
Appreciate
thank you
that.
very much.
Thank you.
Excellent job. All right,
Yeah,
5.4 Town Manager. Is this you, Jay?
So we've had this on the agenda, and we put together a couple of responsibilities here, but really what I was looking for is even some participation from the board in looking at this and the need for a town manager. It is, of my opinion, there are a lot of things that would really go a long way in terms of coordination in addressing a lot of the day-to-day issues. So I've put together a few things here with some others' input, and just kind of some responsibilities a little bit, but I was looking for some feedback on this and some opinions on the need for the position and the qualifications. So I know this is the first time you guys are seeing this, so this is just something that I wanted to get in front of everyone and ask them to kind of put some thoughts down about this, so maybe we can have a discussion about this.
Any discussion on it?
Well, I'd like to have a discussion on it, but I'm not really ready to do that tonight.
And I understand that, Gene. No,
Yeah.
This was just merely to get it out there. I know this is the first time everybody's seeing this,
Yep.
and that's why I stated what I just stated. Like
Right.
some, let's digest this, have that conversation about it, and kind of what that position would look like, and have that discussion for its need.
Okay.
So this was just to get the ball started. And I'll do the same. I'll
Mm-hmm.
add some additional thoughts to this, but I would like to get this included on a future topic. Doesn't necessarily have to be next meeting, but in the next handful of meetings, before we push this to the back burner, I'd like to have that discussion.
The only real thought that I came into the meeting with is the timing of this discussion would be sometime before September, where we're doing our budgets.
And that's fair. Again, I'm just trying not to get it to pushed onto a TBD forever, because I agree, this is not something that we would start this budget cycle. I'm not suggesting that at all. But I just want to give everyone ample time to think about it. What would be included in that scope, key responsibilities, qualifications, and even having the discussion regarding the need.
So the budget process will be starting next month. So that's when everything goes to the department heads to start.
Right, so we've got a few meetings, but it needs to be placed in there.
Yep.
So it's coming.
Yeah.
Budget time's coming quick. All right,
Doesn't it seem like you
so-
just got through it, guys?
So,
Well, that's what happens when things are fun, man. You get to do them a lot.
oh, it's gonna be fun.
So, right.
You know?
So Kevin, we'll just,
Okay.
when we get to future topics, let's get this in a
Yeah.
placeholder for a
Okay.
future meeting. That way, give everyone ample time to add some additional information to this and be prepared to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, moving on. 5.5, Town Storage Network Infrastructure. I believe this is Eugene.
So, and I know that I wasn't able to attend the last meeting. Was there a discussion on it? Or just tabled it till tonight?
I think we just tabled it
Tabled
to
it.
tonight.
Okay,
For this, yeah, this is the upgrade, right?
This is the
Yeah,
whole-
we approved,
the emergency?
yes, the
Okay.
one that you recommended, we approved last week, or
Okay,
last meeting. Yep.
Good, okay. This was all in line with the recommendations that I gave to Pyramid on what the core needed to be. And then they supplemented it with what they got feedback from historical. So this is where this does match what they are looking at with a 5 to 7 year growth. So this is significantly within the budget that we had allocated. So I don't have any issue with that at all. The one conversation that I did not close the loop with them on was the contract itself. And they and this is on me because I didn't close the loop with them. They don't do things with state contract. We can do that. They can provide us with the equipment and we can find the state contract provider to get it. But it wouldn't run through them, which is not an issue. It's just more internal admin and stuff that we'd have to do. Or they can get quotes for the equipment. And this pricing was based on a sole source quote, which we couldn't use. They'd need to get others. But it's still gonna be within this timeframe, yes. And I honestly, I can't see why, my recommendation is that we use this to obtain quotes through Pyramid so that we can justify the procurement policy issue and get a quote. The last thing about that is, once we get a quote from the vendor, because of the cost of the electronics industry right now, quotes are anywhere from 14, 15 days, depending on the company, to 30 days. So there's not a lot of time from when we get the quote to when we'd have to approve it, which I think is a timing issue just on us. I mean, we can get the quote, have it submitted, for the agenda and do it for the next meeting, or even the following meeting 2 weeks later. It's still within that time frame, so I don't see that as a hurdle or, a showstopper. I just wanted to mention it because it's something that if we agree on something, they want to get the information to us in a timely manner. So we don't approve something for 50,000 and it end up being 52. That's all.
Gene, you've walked through them with all these components? This
Yes.
is, okay.
Yep.
And this is what you'd be recommending?
Yes. And for the agenda item, I'm remembering now that I didn't send you guys what my initial ask to them was. And I will get that for the
Okay.
whole discussion.
And I'm in agreement that working through Pyramid to have them obtain other quotes for equipment, I'm in favor of that.
Okay,
Yeah, me too. I think that sounds great. Thank you, Gene.
okay.
Let's do it. I'm
just
fine with it.
very briefly.
Yep.
Tell me what good this is doing for us. I agree, we should have it, but what is it replacing? What is it enhancing? What is it, why are we doing this?
Okay, so the big portion of this, the overall cost that we're talking about is like $50,000, just $100 over that or something. So looking at it in the individual parts, there's a $41,000 server issue. That is going to consolidate all of the storage for everybody to be working off from a network server and not off their individual PCs, and have things on their desktop or their local profiles. They'll give the storage capacity for a networked infrastructure. That's the biggest part of it. And the equipment here is, a lot of the cost isn't avoidable because at the end of 2026, the iOS for our server software and our hardware sunsets.
Okay.
So we have to do something anyway, and could we do something for $30,000, $32,000, $33,000? Yes, but it would be a replacement in kind of what we've got. This has got more memory, it's got more storage. And obviously, it's newer equipment, it does have faster processors that's in there. The next part of that gets into the pyramid options. When these were ones that we talked about. The 1A is for $1,925. That's an option to add in a second core. The server comes with one core. We can add in a second core. And that was one of the recommendations that I thought we should take. 1B is 128 gigabyte of RAM for $12,000. I would not recommend that one. The price of memory right now is extreme. It's gonna level out at some point, but we don't need it right now. We don't need that much memory. There is number 2. There was a discount of $17,000 for the hot swap drives. You're sacrificing speed and you're sacrificing the amount of drives for that. So I was not recommending that we take that. If we did take that, the $50,000 would be $17,000 less. But we've got a lot of users on this. There's going to be a lot of bandwidth trying to come off from it. I don't think that we're buying anything. I don't want to see people sitting here typing and then waiting for the screen to catch up to their fingers. The third one is the optional warranty. The HPE warranty upgrade was one of the recommendations for that. And that was to increase from a next day to a 4-hour response. And that was for a 5-year term. That was an additional $3,200. So that was that.
And that's a one-time cost, Gene, of the $3,200? It's not $3,200 per year?
That is correct. It
Okay.
is a one-time cost. 'Cause-
Okay.
Yep.
That's really, doesn't seem that bad to me.
No.
For 4 hours response?
Right, no. And that, right. So there's that. The last part of that, Dave, is the Microsoft Software Purchase Direct options. That's for the server. These are things that we do have to get because there are licenses for every user. So we have to have those. And the last part of that is, I know there's 46 for the Windows Server user CALs. That total is $3,000, and that is an annual cost that's reoccurring for those licenses every year, and it is based on the current number of 46 people here.
We're already paying that then.
We're already paying, yes, but we are paying more because it's a different server operating system level, so it has gone up. I don't know where it went, but it went up by percentage.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody's good with that?
I will, if, this is, when do you want me to ask? I would think that next meeting, but the following meeting, to
If you
have the
could.
quotes in,
Yeah, if they could, that'd be great.
because then we can get it with the implementation and everything in before the other server, not warranty, but sunsets. Okay, all right.
And
Thank you.
if we can beat some price increases too, that'd be great.
Yeah, the longer we go out,
Yeah.
the higher it is. Okay, so that actually is gonna be
7, right?
27, 8?
7, 8?
Okay. 7, 8.
Just flagging for you guys, I will
Fine.
not be at that meeting on 7/8. My daughter's at a dance competition in the metropolis of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh, good for you.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
on you guys to,
We can handle it.
All right.
All right, we got that set for the 7-8 meeting.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Gene.
Thank you.
thanks, Gene.
5.6 EDU assessment and public hearing schedule. Does everybody have time to take a look at this that Nate put together?
I did, but it was not really clear.
So,
There are a lot of.
so we're
there are a
behind.
lot of-
So the best I can explain is we're behind for this year. We should have done his proposed annual procedure for future rolls, is what we really should be doing, because it really, this whole procedure should be done before the tentative rolls are posted, before she completes the tentative rolls, because now we have no time to do this before the final rolls are gonna come out, and we're not supposed to be able, she can't change once the final rolls are out. We have to rely on asking Broome County to change it, and they don't seem to they don't want to change them. So, but we have to do this for this year, just like last year we had to do the public hearing, we have to do this. So Catherine has worked with Greg and Nate and has put together, she was able to pull a spreadsheet of the current EDUs that she has on the tentative rolls per the, each resident or each household or property. I believe we can do a postcard mailer. She was showing me today that she was working with Alice on it, how to do a postcard mailer, and it will have the information of how many EDUs for that property, and then I would have to put together, which I kind of calculated today, that with the amount of EDUs that she gave me, it was like 4,893, divided by the bond payment for 2027 was about $241 an EDU. So it's going to be an estimate, because it could go up and down, but the same thing happened last year. We did a number and it actually went down a little bit by the time we did the tax levy. So that's what has to happen this year.
So, obviously, this memorandum that was sent out, I would have to ask Nate to clean it up, because I agree, there's a lot of things that need to be clarified in here, and there's a lot of shoulds and maybes in there. So, having said that, put that aside, what are you suggesting right now for a procedure this year? And the timing of it? Because obviously we're behind, right?
Yes, we're too far behind to get them done before the final rolls are
Okay.
out. So Nate's got August, for second regular meeting in August, to try to do the public hearing. So we would have to,
Do we
yeah,
want
I
to,
don't, how,
do you want to wait that late?
well, I don't think we have the time. We have to create the mailer.
Oh, you're saying from a timing perspective of us getting the mailer out,
Yeah.
the notifications? Yeah, okay.
we
The
have to-
mailer has to be sent prior to the public hearing,
The mailer has to be sent
30
to
days.
notify them of the public hearing.
and it has to be a full 30 days.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the whole.
I guess that's what I'm looking at in the
Right.
timing. You know, do we need to wait till August?
There is a mailer already created that it doesn't tell you the specific EDU per parcel, but there is a public hearing, postcard we sent out the last 2
Right.
years.
Yes.
That's already created.
Yes, so you could do that same thing, but then again, it's not, we're trying to clean this up by
Yeah.
letting the
Yeah.
customer, or letting the resident of the town know what that's what happened last year, I was never notified of this. I was never notified how much this was gonna be, how much my taxes were gonna be, how much my taxes were going up. So we believe we have the ability to do that now, to do the postcard with the information on it, so they would be able to calculate it themselves. If you have 1.25 EDUs at a $241 per EDU rate, you can calculate what you feel that's gonna be.
How would they know how many EDUs they have? Because that'd be
That's on the post.
3,000 postcards. 3,000 different ones. For every home, you'd have
It's
to tell.
2,600 and something postcards.
So you'd have to tell every specific homeowner.
Yep.
2,600 times, so that'd be 2,600 different mailers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can print it.
Specific to each address.
We have the mail, was it mail merge or whatever the?
It's just form fields.
It's a form thing, and they're very good up, they're working on it. With the ordinance office, because they've done it before with other mailers for Catherine, because she has to send out mailers. So,
I guess
you could do the generic one like he said.
I know,
It's
but
up to you guys.
I agree. I'm just looking at it and I'm just trying to figure out the timing of it, that's all, of what we would need. Do we need to wait till August, the second meeting in August? I'm just wondering how that was selected.
Well, I think it was giving us time to create the mailers.
Okay,
I mean, we're into middle of June right now.
Right.
The mailers aren't created yet, they're not sent out, so I would say,
I don't think there's a legal reason
there's no lead, yeah.
Okay, it was just giving ample time upstairs just to
Because
get
we're already
everything-
behind on it,
No,
so it doesn't,
I get it.
we
But,
just,
as soon as the mailers go out, they've got to be.
Yes.
The residents have to have that mailer in hand 30 days prior to the public hearing.
yes.
Is that accurate?
Oh, it's
Yes.
okay.
It can't be too far ahead, it can't be,
Can't-
it has to be,
okay.
it has to be within a time frame of how many days, there's a certain
Well, I
time.
have to double check the
Yeah.
statute, but it's outlined in the statute specifically how many days prior and 2 months.
Yeah,
It's
there's-
a window period, yeah.
And that was very specific.
That's probably what it is. So that's why
It gives
he
us time
selected
to
the
make sure
second
we're
week
gonna be
of
exactly
August.
right.
It gives us a month to do it, and then a month for the
they
notification.
have it for a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with the second week of
I-
August. Because we're not going to meet the deadline anyway.
No, we're not.
Right.
And that's what his proposal for the annual procedure, which I agree, he threw that in there, I think we need to tweak that.
Yeah, and that's a separate piece, right? We need to
Yep.
get 2026 done. Yeah.
And until the fourth time I read through this, I didn't really see that there was, the 27th was really a separate issue. I thought that was all really kind of all rolled into it. So,
For the 2027?
yeah, the proposed procedure portion of it, I just took this whole thing as like,
Oh, it's one whole
as
thing.
big
Oh, okay.
monumental task there. It was like, okay,
No,
yeah.
you understand it now.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. All right, so we will have to, I don't know if we have to do that tonight, set that public hearing. Or we have time, we can probably do it at our next meeting.
It's gonna be in August.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
we
can
can
set it
wait.
next
All
meeting.
right,
And I am drafting email to Nate as we go, so
Okay.
I've noted to him that he's gonna need to update the memo.
okay.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of him too.
All right, I think everybody, he just wanted everybody to see this.
If he's gonna do that, one of the things that he has done before, when he references the sections of the law, if he could put those in hyperlinks, so I can, that's helpful for me, because I can go and find the right one.
I'll note that too. So I noted specifically, there's a little bit of some confusion with regard to some of the language, lack of specificity on the timeline, the basis for some of the timeline, and then I will note that he can link all of the references.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Okay. All right, anything else on that? We'll take care of that the next meeting. I'm gonna put it back on the agenda for
Yes,
next meeting.
please.
We'll take care of it. And hopefully I'll have an answer by then, the postcards, and hopefully we can get them done.
Okay.
All right, public hearing. We have no public hearings tonight. New business, 7.1, website survey form. So I was approached a while ago from Renee and Tim to do a survey form for people that visit the website, or excuse me, visit the town or even the website. And if Renee wants to speak on it, this is kind of their baby. But I said I'd bring it to the board.
Yeah. Tim had asked, he came up to me and he said, hey, I have an idea. I want to do a survey about, what the town resident, when they come in, they have an issue, they visit a department. How was your visit today? So he said, do you think you can do something, put it on the webpage? I said, sure, let me take a stab at it. So we have the hard copy, the one that's just a, you know, a piece of paper they can fill out. But I went on our webpage, built one. It's hidden right now. And the screenshot that y'all have is what it looks like. You know, it's got a drop-down menu for the departments. And, you know, any comments that they have. Right now, it goes to the supervisor's email that you can add and take away, you know, whatever, wherever it is we want it to go. But, and I showed it to Tim, and he said, yeah, that was what he was looking for. So it was just up to, you know, board approval, so I can hit the unhide button. It'll go on the desktop pretty easily. Mobile's a little more difficult because of a real estate issue on a phone, so I have to figure out how to do that.
Is this something the board would be interested in feedback or not?
I have no issue with it. I just, where it goes is the only conversation I think that we should have.
And I think that's a very legitimate conversation. I mean, the supervisor's email was just thrown out there, so.
Yeah.
If you think of a better, do we create an email that's like a board access email? We could.
I have two thoughts.
Okay,
One,
throw it out there.
We have the records office of the town,
Yep.
where we receive all the communication and everything, is the clerk's office. And the other thought that I had on it was, if this is something that we want to incorporate into like a vetting kind of issue with comments and stuff, that it would go to Jody. How, you know, as far as a board issue goes, those are the only two thoughts that I bring to the conversation. But my personal preference is that it's a town record and it should go to the clerk.
I should definitely keep a record of all that.
Okay.
Looking at the sheet, number one, not that I care because I don't really need to be on there, but the highway department's not on there at all. And that's fine,
Yes, it is.
as
Hold on. She said, yes, you are.
under where it says town Shenango feedback form.
The feedback form, the screenshot that you're looking at right now, are you looking at the yellow piece?
Yeah,
Seriously, highway's not on
it
it?
says all departments visited and highway's not on there.
My apologies then.
I'm not, I don't care.
Oh, no.
No, you're being
No,
all
that-
upset about it. If we missed
No, I'm
it,
not being upset. What I
we can create it.
Yeah, the one that's on the webpage.
see that. As an elected official, I want to know what the people are saying about me also. So if it's highway, my recommendation, I'm just asking for recommendation and stuff to send to me.
Okay, so,
It's on the
Hold on.
webpage. My apologies for not.
and I think you guys brought up some valid, so how would that information be viewed by, say, board member, department head, or anybody that can, how would that be done?
I think that's part of a larger conversation, because it's, you know, it's gonna be information that's gonna come in, somebody's gonna have to vet through that, somebody's gonna have to take the, if it's a water issue, it's gotta go to that department, but there's gotta be one person that's gonna be the funnel on it.
So do you want it to go to Jody?
No, Jody would have to send it to him anyway, you know, for the clerk, because that's where the record is, that's the communication. We're asking for communication to the town.
Okay, so the communication comes back to the town.
Yeah.
So is the clerk gonna send it out to where it should go?
That's my preference. in
Yeah,
this
you can
portion of
share
the
it with the
convers-
department heads that are here. I don't see
Yeah.
an issue with that.
Oh, none of it is confidential.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
not-
so-
That,
so-
regardless,
I'm not saying, I'm just,
No, no.
how does it get to where it's gotta go?
I
I think there was a whole reasoning behind the supervisor. They figured, oh, I can just, it comes to me and I just send it to where it goes. If it's a complaint
gotta go
about
to the
a
clerk's office.
board member, I send it to you. It's a complaint about, or it's a, hey, this guy did a great job, I send it to him. I mean,
Yeah,
just,
I
Yeah,
think once
so-
that department is selected, I think the clerk
I
can
think
share
it's
that
great.
with
That's
department
all I was
head.
asking. I just
Yep.
wanna
Yeah,
make
I don't
sure,
have an issue with that.
I'm all for feedback, but I wanna make sure it gets to where it's gotta go.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be just in a folder somewhere that,
The thing that's just popping out of the front of my head from the conversation is that there's two distinct issues here. There's a complaint and there's a praise issue.
Yep.
And the praise goes to the department head, the department head for them to disseminate and the town board maybe. But if it's a complaint, we have a complaint process and we'd have, that would skip everybody and go right through the complaint process. So that can play out.
Okay.
Who determines if it's a complaint?
That would have to be, if we said the clerk gets it, then it would be the clerk that would have to make that determination.
Right.
So if it's a complaint, it would be sent to the board.
And Nate,
and
according to Nate,
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Or is it sent to Nate?
It's
and then-
sent to
sent to Nate,
and-
right,
yeah,
and then he makes that determination on our response.
Right.
Goes to Nate and then it goes.
I think Darren makes an excellent point, but it's good feedback for elected officials as well.
I get that, but if there's a complaint about a pothole in the road, and it goes to Nate first, that's.
Oh, no,
That's not,
No,
no, that.
no, we're saying a
so-
personnel complaint. That's mine.
Oh, okay.
no.
If there's a complaint against an employee,
Okay.
not,
I'm sorry.
not a complaint about service, not a complaint about,
I'm looking at that aspect, not the other.
and that's a good clarification, though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
I wasn't
make
even
a
thinking
argument,
that. I was just.
No,
There's complaints and there's complaints.
but-
yeah.
Well, my apologies, Darren, for leaving highway off of the paper copy. I did not realize I did
Other
that.
than that, I have no issue with this at all, with them turning it on.
Don't hold it against me, man. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're gonna run it through the clerk, and the clerk is gonna.
Right, and then the clerk will distribute everything that comes in for those departments to the departments. Complaints, personnel, go to council.
Mhm.
And he will keep. It's public record, so
It's-
it'll be foilable.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Part of the deal.
okay, awesome. I think it's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
There
Okay,
you go.
Renee.
So,
So
can
it-
she turn it on?
so I can turn it on
I-
and change the email
Just please
to,
put the highway department in there. I don't want to get a complaint.
now I'm not gonna. He's not gonna get it now.
I really don't make this longer, but I do have a question, because you did say if it's a personnel complaint. And I'm gonna use them, highway, union. If there's a complaint about one of my guys on the job, and it goes right to Nate, shouldn't I be informed of this too?
I think Nate will contact
He
you.
will.
Nate or whoever in his office is gonna be doing it.
It'll be Nate.
Nate,
It's a little quick,
Our-
Gina.
the complaint process is formal, and that's not waiverable. So,
Well, I just don't want it.
No, you'll get it. You'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not excluded from it.
Going for transparency.
I'm not worried about it, just jumping myself.
So you said that this is public, it's open to the public, right?
Yes, it is.
But he determines that it's a complaint. Then Nate gets it, and he goes, this is more than just a complaint, this may be legal.
It can be redacted if somebody.
It's gonna be,
files it for
okay,
it.
so it's gonna be a while before it gets to be actually public, right?
well, any FOIL request would have to go through the process of the FOIL review. There's an application of what they're asking for, and then that information is prepared. If in fact it was a complaint, Nate would give his input on, can it be
Okay.
released in whole or in part, and then we'd have to.
So, okay, it had to be through like FOIL, so it's
Yeah.
just not like, we've got this on our website. Not
no.
everybody can see what everybody's saying.
No. You're
right on-
saying
right on the
everybody can go,
website.
no.
Nope, that's
Okay,
correct.
Okay.
Yep. It is not my understanding that it's on the website.
No, it's not a repository, right?
No,
I
it
mean,
just
No,
goes
that's
to an
correct.
email.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just a, how did your visit go today?
And it just goes to an email. It just
Correct.
officially goes to, it'll just go to
Okay,
Adams.
okay.
It's not
Yeah.
something that somebody
That's
can
all.
go and access to see how many complaints or
Because you don't know what
feedback.
you don't, no idea what I'm gonna talk about you tonight that everybody's gonna see.
I'm expecting that.
Okay.
Everybody's good with that?
So live and town clerk.
Yes.
Live in town clerk. Thank you. Thanks for the help on it. That was good. Or
Thank
thanks
you,
for doing
Renee.
it. I didn't do anything. All right, we're gonna move on to department reports. 8.1 highway report.
All right, as you can see, the letter from the DEC, On the updates for the salt shed on our time lanes, we've finally got that, so we're moving along with that. Shows the amount, shows what we need, all that, the deadlines that we have moving forward, and our contacts for the grants. So, as we can see, there's people that are on there, and I don't know, Kevin, you want me to talk about this, or you feel?
You can talk about it, I mean,
Okay, so I contacted
yes.
Kevin because I don't want this to go by missing any deadlines or anything in contacts. So obviously we've removed, or Kevin has removed, Mike
we-
Lumsden
Yeah, a bunch of people that aren't
and a
here.
bunch of other ones in town, the ones that are not have anything to do with it anymore, or accessibilities to them. And we added myself and Joy on so that we can get contacts, so we can get in there and get stuff inputted, so we don't miss deadlines, and stuff like that. Working under Kevin, just to keep that going. Just so you know.
It's very involved with the
There's a
grant,
lot
with the
involved with
SFS
entering.
system.
All the information and all the stuff. And I think Joy was very good at this because
She's
she
excellent.
does our other ones and she's on the other one and she inputs all the information that comes in for that, so, and on the meetings. That was my recommendation, if everybody's okay with that.
Yeah, we're good.
The other one I put on there, I've been trying to not do, but East Hill is a road that a lot of people travel, one of the longest ones in our town, obviously. I just got stuff, I got an updated quote, threw it in there, just want the board to look at it and see if it's something that they'd be willing to either move some money around or use fund balance or what, if we could at some point. Just to try to get that one done because I'm at the point where I can't even, we're just losing it even more. Also, number 3 there, Bert Adams, I got a price from Bert. As I've had days to work up on Castle Creek on the lot to try to help clean up some stuff and get things opened up so that we can start moving stuff around, I got a pretty good pile of pretty much garbage and stuff up there that we really need to get at least a dumpster. It may be more than one, but one to start, and that's got the cost there for $250 for the dumpster, and then it's $65 per ton. I don't know exactly how much, obviously, what the weight's gonna be until we get it done, but that's their prices. But I don't know where to go. This is helping the cause, or what we worked on with the neighbor there, trying to get stuff cleaned up, so I'm trying to do as best I can on my days. So that's why that's in there. And then also, not to jump, that I forgot to show you, the map is in there for the design from Hunt's, that their preliminary design of what it's gonna look like, the proposed salt shed, and what they've got there. So I've told them to move forward with getting me what they got so we can get going. So hopefully I'll have some more going, but that's what I got. And then, obviously, one other thing that's not on here, but I did email the whole board about a concern on Clarendon Drive about my access to the drainage swale. Dave happened to be driving by today on his way here, and he was there, so I met with him, and Leeson was there. Went over my concerns with where the hydrant is placed. Right now, we're working in the access, so now we're trying to find exactly where our boundary is from the neighbor, the private property, and what we have. If we can't find out, and what I need, she said that there's a possibility for us to move the hydrant farther towards the private property, which will still give us the access to the drainage swale that we have on our property, of why that was kind of there when we did that for our drainage swale, which was not discussed when this project started. And nobody was aware of it until it was placed. So I just happened to notice it and talked with Greg about it when they were doing some cleanup stuff and working there, that the hydrant went in there. So right now, under emergency situation, if something arises for some reason, I can access it through private property because it's the only way I can do it, if it is an emergency though, to get back there to that swale. That's all I've got right now, and I'm trying to work with Lisa on this one.
Are you looking for money for the Bird Adams dumpster? I'm confused why that's on there.
It's on there because I don't know what's budgeted in that for Bert or what it is, so I don't have money. That's kinda come out of general, so I'm just looking for the board to,
What is it for?
the Bert Adams dumpster?
Yeah.
Because remember the neighbor put in
Oh,
thing and
okay.
wants us to clean up on the lot and all this stuff. And I'm trying to make access points so we can get over the bank and get to the bank and clean up the lot as best as I can. Up on top of the lot, we have a lot of stuff that's piled up, that's been there for years and years of us picking stuff up along the side of the roads or stuff. So the dumpster's for us to
Okay.
put stuff in and them to come get it, take it away for us.
So you've got to have an idea of how many ton of stuff is going to be removed, because you get into
I'm hoping 10.
$10,000.
I'm hoping 10 ton, well, I asked them for their biggest dumpster. So I'm assuming like 10 ton a load, I'm assuming at max. But without doing it and putting it in there and seeing how much you can crush down and push
What do
down.
you have up there for scrap metal?
And there's a lot of scrap metal, which I'm gonna probably load up and take to Weitzman's as much as we can, as soon as I can. Because we have that stuff. A lot of that's from us, from me,
Yeah,
from
no,
our
I saw that.
scrap stuff, but a lot of it's garbage stuff that needs to, and then some can go when we have drop-off days that I can set aside when we have our September drop-off days, but
I just want to make sure that we don't get caught on a procurement issue if we go over the thresholds for getting quotes, because $65 a ton only is going to buy you a certain amount of tonnage for disposal.
right.
And if you should be getting quotes for that now.
I was just thinking, because that's who we use for our everyday garbage, and we use them for our drop-off days, so.
What's
I
this,
don't
what was
think,
this
like-
threshold, 5?
1,005. You know what? We've had the conversation so
I
many
know,
times,
I know.
so there's just too many numbers in my head about it.
I know,
Five
I'm
thousand,
trying to
right.
determine what it was as well.
But,
I-
yeah,
I know. It's 5, right?
it's fine.
I thought it was.
I thought it was 5,000, but
Right.
I don't know what you wanna,
I-
I would assume that would come out of buildings and grounds line, would come out of the buildings and grounds line for,
Yeah,
Well,
the reason,
just start with one. I think you'd be all right with one. I don't think you're gonna go over that threshold with one. And then
I bet you it's only at 10 ton.
if you have to do more than that, then we're gonna have to,
Then that's a different
it's
discussion.
a whole different
right.
discussion.
But I agree with the guys, start with 1.
I'm just trying to start the process that
Yeah, we'll go with one.
we've
and-
done with cleaning up there for that resident, that's all. And we've started little by little.
No,
That's all.
we need to get it done. I just don't want to get into a conversation later about
Yes.
an improper contract. That's all.
Yep, nope, totally.
Any other questions for Darren?
And Darren, on this East Hill Road quote, clarify for me, you've asked them to quote this,
They quoted it in 2 sections.
so I've looked at kind of both of them here, and I'm looking at this, and I need some clarification. Install and compact binder per BC bid with traffic control, but that it excludes traffic control down below. And then I don't know the difference between what a BC bid is and OGS asphalt index.
The Broome County bid is what we pay. That's the bid for Broome County. We use their contract to put the blacktop down. The OGS is the oil index. That's what we have to use for the oil index pricing for what the oil is.
So that's still all part of the county
All
contract?
through the county. It's
All-
all through the same contract. It's just separated. That's
Oh,
how it's
okay.
separated.
I didn't know whether I was looking at a difference between labor and material.
No,
Okay, so is it with
and they're
traffic?
doing traffic. Yeah, that's with them doing everything. This is all turnkey. I don't know why it says.
It's, well, yeah, I'm just looking down below there. It says exclusions, traffic control.
Yeah, I don't. No, they're doing everything.
And there's no testing or inspection on this, just you looking at it?
Me and their guy there that does all their stuff for them, yes.
All right.
they have a plant guy that does it and checking whether all their trucks going out of there and the guy on the grounds.
There's no striping for East Hill, is there?
Yes, there is
Yes, there is.
striping, but we do it, the county, we have them all done through the county, does it for us through, they do all our striping, road striping.
Okay.
How do you verify the tonnage that you're paying for? If you're not, if there's no,
There's slips, the trucker gives me a slip every time he comes on a job. I get a weight ticket from him, and they get one. Paver guy gets one, or the paver guy or whoever the guy inspecting, and I
Who-
grab one.
so you say there is a guy inspecting?
There's a guy, one of their guys that is making sure, like their foreman or whatever is making sure it's put down properly and with what we want to meet our specs. And then, so they get a slip, and I grab a slip as I'm there, getting it all from them, and I backlog what they give me and making sure all the trucks come, just like I would do on a normal job.
Nobody's doing any yield calculations?
Nope,
Okay.
but I know what trucks come and the loads, it's all done by load per, and truck numbers and all that, so.
No, yeah, I'm more concerned about the process of validating that, not necessarily, that those trucks that were there, the slips that you got were for that job, and if you're supposed to be getting a yield calculation of 250 ton and it's 280 ton or 220 ton, or if you're asking for an inch of asphalt, why is that yield off? I'm just wondering what your process is for validating the taxpayer dollars that they're getting what they're paying for.
Yep, and then one of ours, no matter what, whether them doing it turnkey or us flagging or us being on site, one of my guys is always there, whether it's me or Jim or somebody, one of my senior guys, to make sure they're getting slips and they're on top of making sure they're putting down what we need to.
So you've got a guy on site
On
100%
site.
of the time,
Yep,
watching what's going on,
yep, no matter what.
and they're collecting the tickets.
And we're collecting so we can collect the ticket that they're getting also, the same exact one, printed right from the truck driver.
Okay.
Yep.
Gene, is that normal like that? I mean, I just look at it, it's just funny the way it's worded to me because I'm not familiar with the OGS index, but it says prices are quoted based off of the OGS asphalt fuel index, but it's through the Broome County bid, the Broome County contract. So is that normally how the way that would work, or is there something that's specific to Broome County?
No, the counties use OGS index. Some of them do, some of them don't. So normal is probably not the right word because it's not what the majority of everybody does. It's just they can or they can't. So they can ask for a lump sum number for tonnage that they get,
Okay.
or they can use the OGS index. And what that does is it protects Broome bituminous on an escalation in the index.
Okay.
If it goes up during the time period, he gives Darren a quote today, but he doesn't do it for 3 months, that index is off, so that's where you get it, because the quote for the asphalt is good for the quote for the asphalt for that contract year.
Okay, so it's a material protection?
It's an
Kind of?
escalation on fuel cost, the CPI, all that kind of stuff
Okay.
goes into the OGS index.
So Broome County utilizes,
Yes.
they don't, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm asking. I'm just looking at the
Oh.
difference between the two here, and it just seems odd to me the way it's worded, the way it's quoted. It looks like we're buying material from a different
Oh.
index. And that's the only reason I'm asking, because I'm not familiar with it
No.
whatsoever.
No,
I do not know that Broome County's asphalt contract says that they also utilize the
Oh.
OGS index. It is an option to add or not, and I just don't know that.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I-
I'm just not familiar with it. And when I read this, it just reads a little off to me.
And it is only on state work that I've ever seen the OGS index actually required. Because but I don't know, you can look at the Broome County contract to see what it says.
yeah, they use Broome County one uses the OGS for that because of the fuel index, because of the fluctuation, like he said, it just protects them.
But the distinction between the asphalt and fuel index, because they're two different things. But the exclusions are for fuel surcharge, which is separate from the fuel index. And the prevailing wage for drivers, that's curious to me why that's excluded. I don't know how that's happening. But it is what it is. We're not acting on this, right?
No, we're not.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just looking for a clarification
Yep.
because I have no background in this.
This is,
And just the way it read a little odd to me.
Darren, can you send me the contract that you've got? And then I can address the
And
board with
that would be great,
question.
because there'll be more of this, so I think the better we all have an understanding of this when we look at these, we'll be able to make faster and more informed decisions.
Yep.
Thanks, Gene.
But just, you'll have to think about, if you want to proceed with that, then you're going to have to
We have to find the money.
find the money. So, all right, moving on. 8.2 ordinance report. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you want to speak, Renee? I know you do.
No, I sent an email for changing the one with the format just for the permits, because it seemed to have all the information, like, I just didn't have to redact it. It's no problem to redact it. I thought I'd give you all the option, and if that works, great. If not, I can go back to the other way. Either way is cool.
I prefer the forms with the redacted.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Said it is fine either way. I just didn't realize Municity could do that, and I saw it and went, oh, well, that's very handy. So I thought I'd give it a shot.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you, Renee. All right, 8.3 DPW report. Greg?
I'll just touch on a few of these. I was asked to have for the buildings and grounds, a NEMA L530 outlet installed in the server room. That was done. All we're waiting on is a 30 amp breaker. And it'll all be set for the new server whenever that happens. As far as the garage, the roof vent was pulled. With insulation, so it was not allowing any of the heat to escape through the ridge vent. So they pushed all that back down, reinstalled the ridge cap. Then they went in and pulled back a few pieces of insulation inside the garage, and he took a sample of that, and he was gonna send it out to have it tested. I reached out last week. I've not heard back from him whether the tests have come back yet for that. Going down the list, the 12A service area, we did 20 lead and copper samples back in March. None of them came back with any level exceedances, so that's a good thing. 20 more will be done this month. Then a few board topics I'd like to get added on to the agenda. Also, you'll see attached in my report is a request to look at the town cameras. I sent out email to the board on 5/18. This is just a follow-up for that. If I can get access to look at those. Then you'll also see down there's the quote for the pumps. We discussed, I think at the last meeting, there's supposed to be a resolution for those so I can order the pump and motor and pipe.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Greg?
I didn't see the resolution.
It's under my report. They didn't create a spot at the bottom of the
Oh,
resolutions.
okay, I
So
was
it's in
looking
the
at the
report.
bottom.
For the, why wasn't that, didn't we authorize that to be put under resolutions?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
That's on me. we can still visit that if so choose. Any other questions for Greg?
I don't have any.
Greg, the email that you sent out requesting access to the camera system, I'm not in favor of that.
Okay.
And I don't know if the board wants to address that tonight or have an executive session to discuss what he's requested. But it's just my opinion. I just didn't
see
want
it
to
as-
let that pass, that's all.
I didn't see it, I saw it as two different issues. One, to have access to it, I took as access for you to get into the system and look at what you want, when you want.
No,
And the other was, if there's a specific time or a specific camera that you want to have access to view, I think that you have the right to do that, but you've got to request it. Anybody can, any citizen can do the same thing. And if there's a reason for you needing to see it, then that should be clear and conveyed. But if a citizen can look at it, I don't know why Greg can't.
So what would be the process for him to look at that?
A request to there's two people that are the administrators of it, and they can grant it or not, and if he doesn't like the answer, he can appeal it to the board, just like any other
Okay,
decision.
I think that's what really
think
he
that's what he's
needed
doing.
clarification for is, what's the process to look at, if you're looking for a specific time or a specific date?
and that was in my 518 email,
It was, it 100% was, and I just don't think it was clear what your process is supposed to be. So if it's just to go to the administrators, which are,
Kevin and the Judge Fetish,
okay,
right? Judge
Yes.
Fetish, right? The two.
and it's their sole discretion to grant it or not. Okay,
It's extremely
Then-
time consuming, just so you know.
I'm just
It
saying
eats-
that,
it eats up a lot
that
of
is your
time.
process.
To do what?
To go back and search for certain events that have happened. When we can discuss this in
Yeah,
executive
yeah.
session, because we're gonna have one for one of the events. And I can explain, because I did have to pull video for
But
that.
regardless, though, just to be clear of what the process is, right?
Yeah.
That it's a request to the two administrators.
Yep. For an employee,
Understood.
yeah.
And both have to agree, or just need one?
They both have to agree.
Okay. All right.
I would expect.
I would too. I'm just trying to, I'm
don't
saying
think
this out
we-
loud for Greg's benefit.
Well, I think this is the first time that we're having this discussion because
It-
the town board just said that the two administrators have the authority to make the decision. And if they can't, then it's a town board decision.
Okay.
There's the process.
Thank you.
Unless the employee foils it, and then it's not an employee foiling it. It's a
That's
person.
separate, right?
Yes, but
That's
but-
completely separate. But I'm saying for an employee request to access, to view a section of the camera,
Mhm.
to the, appeal to the two administrators, or request to the two administrators, they both agree. If one agrees, one doesn't, he can either foil it or bring it to the board.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to be clear on the process.
And this would be on the administrator's timeline, when they are able to do it.
If it's a request, yes. If it's a foil, no.
Yeah, it's a foil, no, obviously, but if a,
Right, I'm just trying to keep the context of everything
Yes,
in.
'cause they're two separate paths.
Yes.
any other questions for Greg?
We're doing this resolution in the resolutions, Kev?
Yeah, I think we can bump back up to it.
Yeah, that's fine.
If everybody's okay with
Yep.
that. All right, so 8.4 dog control report, everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
No issues with that, correct? No. 8.5 attorney's report. see that from Nate.
I saw it.
Can't ask any questions.
I mean, you can ask.
I'm all set.
I am too.
Okay, 8.6 Supervisors Report. So we have a couple new members that were brought in for the Shenango Bridge Fire Company. I just put it on there, so we need to do resolutions for them. We need to get back into that to do resolutions for the members.
Have we not done them in the past because these are the, these are the first two members
These are
that
the
have
first
come
two. We
up?
still need to do a cleanup one.
Okay.
I have to get with Nate on
Did-
that. I do believe I got the amount of names from each
You did
department.
get new rosters then?
What?
You did get new rosters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. And I think that's what it was. They were supposed to provide the rosters, but they hadn't in the past few years, which is why I don't think we had seen any new members come forward. And I think that's what you're referring to, Kev, in terms of the cleanup?
These two new members are, yeah, these are two just applied
Right.
members. And then there's, I think, a cleanup of 6 for one
Just-
department and
Okay, yeah.
maybe 4 for the other one, which we could probably do in all one resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll get that cleaned up. But this one, I put it on there just so, because we have to put it in when we do future topics to make a to
Yeah.
authorize a resolution on the next agenda. So that's the reason that that's on there. The other thing I have is the bookkeeping statements have started with the town. They started last Friday. They now have access to pretty much everything in the town. They have remote access to Williamson through our computer system. It's going to take a bit, so there's a lot involved in it. But they are, Tom did the checks on Friday with no issue at all. Came right in, did the checks, and
Okay.
no problems. So as he's on vacation this week, and we knew that going into this, that he was going to be on vacation for the first week. Rebecca's still working on it, but when he gets back, we're going to really go try to get things cleaned up and move forward. I was notified by the bonding company for the sewer bond that it's actually more. We need to pay more than what we collected on the EDUs. I was not notified of this at the time of resignation of the last 2 people that were in there, that was just a projected amount. So it's about $30,000 more in principal that we have to pay. They would work with us to just push that to the next year if we didn't have that money to pay it, but I told them that we do have that money to pay it because we collected on the other, the band interest one, that there is money there that we can make that 30,000 up. So one way or another, the money's being used for the bond, so
Yeah, that's good.
just so you're all clear on that. And then we're gonna get a new itemized schedule for the payments going forward that should be correct.
Okay.
So we'll know what next year is gonna be exactly. And we need to do a couple of executive sessions tonight and an attorney-client session. So we can do that at the end of the meeting. Anybody have any questions for me?
I have none.
I have none.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to resolutions.
You want to get Greg's first? So we don't
Oh, yeah,
forget?
go right up to do Greg's first. Are you doing them, Gina?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you've been told?
They did pre-prepare me for this.
Okay, we're gonna go to the one up there for Greg's in the water.
Yep, so resolution authorizing standardization of sewer pump purchases to Gould brand pumps and approving purchase from Lane Christensen Company.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
None.
Greg, can you tell me what the overall reason is that you're doing the standardization?
We've had very good luck with Gould's pumps. We've always used Gould pumps. The current one that we have in there is a Gould's. It's interchangeable with our Northgate as well. The other vendors that we did use do not carry Gould's. They used to in the past, but they don't now.
Okay. Are you like stocking equipment, inventory for the pumps?
This will be a pump and motor that we will have in stock, because it's interchangeable with 2 wells. That way we have a backup if we have a problem.
Which the one we just used at 12A you had in stock, we just used it. So this is replenishing the backup.
Yes.
Which pump was that for?
12A.
The-
The pump and motor works in either 12A or Northgate, either one. They're both 100 horse wells,
12A and Northgate, what?
water wells.
Okay, because these are sewer pump, this is a sewer pump resolution.
I didn't do the resolution, so I don't know.
It does say sewer pump. It's not supposed to. But it does. It's a water, yes. It's a water pump purchase.
So all my questions about the stuff that's in the bullets are gone then.
Thank you.
So can we update can she update the resolution to say water pump?
Yeah, so it would just
No,
be.
no, there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of sewer infrastructure verbiage in here.
It does. It's got sewer
It's-
all the way
it's all-
through it.
it's all kinda
supposed
screwed
to say
up.
water. Yeah, there's actually quite a few. It's not just the heading.
Did they draft this?
I don't know.
Of course
I-
she did.
Yeah.
Silly question.
It-
I mean, if you wanna table it, I can have him redo it.
Yes.
or-
I think we have to. There's a number of them there. But, good catch, Gene. We've been looking at it too long. We had the discussion last week. It is water pump.
Okay. I'm sorry, Greg.
All right, so we're gonna have to table
Did
that.
you already order one of these though, Greg? And wait another month to get this.
This resolution doesn't allow him to buy it or not. It is the standardization issue. So,
Is this something that, because I hypothetically, if we're going into executive session, that would give me a short period of time that I can make edits if I need to. Is it just a matter of switching things from essentially sewer to water infrastructure? Or are there like things in here that are not gonna be addressed in doing that?
unless I do a word by word kind of reread on it, I was just confused because it was water parks and sewer verbiage. So if you don't,
So,
I'd rather table it myself, so it's all done.
But this is an authorization to purchase.
So, yeah, but if we don't do the standardization, he can't purchase it because he's got to get quotes.
He did. We went through this last meeting.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, though, to
So
your
if you-
point, though, it has to say water infrastructure. This wasn't just a resolution for standardization. We talked about purchasing this for replacement to what he had. It standardizes it for him between 2 wells right now, but this is definitely an authorization to purchase. He has the quotes.
I mean, is this 2 separate resolutions then? One based off of last meeting's quotes to make the purchase now, so Greg has it, and then the standardization resolution we can look at next meeting?
Yeah, I think that this got clustered into something that it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It
We
did.
should have had a standardization resolution, because that's a standalone document that represents what the intent is of why what we're standardizing on, and then a separate resolution for the purchase of the equipment.
I agree. But this discussion that we had last week
Uh-huh.
merely was 100% about authorization to purchase replacement for what was taken out of stock. I agree, if the standardization discussion got morphed into it, they are 2 separate issues.
Yeah.
Right, and they should be segregated. So I am in agreement that we need to clean these 2 resolutions up and vote on them next meeting. I just,
And
Gina, I
it-
just think there's too much here to
No,
clean
no,
up,
that's fine.
because
So
it
I
is,
guess
it's
my
very,
thought is if the concern is that you need the purchases need to be authorized,
I-
if these purchase items are correct, then it's super easy to just do a resolution authorizing these specific purchases this evening, because it's basically gonna be that exact
Yeah,
resolution.
but I think
And
to
then-
address Luke's issue is that if it becomes an emergency, Greg and Kevin,
they can go buy it.
It's an emergency.
This is
Go
something
buy it.
stocked, Greg, that you could get this quickly?
Yep. Oh, quickly is it? I'm sorry, I don't mean to answer that, but.
Well, if the pump goes down on 12A again, knock on wood, I love the thought that he had it in stock and we were just waiting for the crane truck to come here. So I guess I'm mixing my words when I say emergency, but to me, I think it's imperative that we have one in stock if we all agree upon it. And I'm looking at the bullet points on 224 of the resolution. I'm willing, well, I guess if I don't have the second vote, it's moved. Never mind.
But, no, hold up, so if, I agree that we did agree to authorize the purchase. So Gina, if you do think you can clean this up,
Yes.
I'm okay to authorize the purchase. The standardization, I think, should be a different discussion.
So I think, I mean, a resolution, right, to just authorize the purchase of these bulleted items, we can just read into the record very cleanly right now, I think. And then I can let Nate know that he needs to provide an additional resolution for next time relating to the standardization issue specifically.
And I'm fine with that, because we've been through the discussion at this last meeting about these quotes and these prices. I don't see a need to wait another 2 weeks to buy them, but the standardization issue is a different discussion.
Okay, so I mean, if you're comfortable with it, I can just read it into the record, or if you want me to take like 5 minutes while you're doing executive session, and then you can pass it right when you come out, whichever the board would prefer, if you want it specifically in writing. But I mean,
Gentlemen?
Writing.
But you're probably gonna come in executive session with it.
Yeah.
I am, but I'm gonna call Nate, because he wants to be on speakerphone,
Oh,
and he can
okay.
talk to you while I write this, yeah.
Okay.
So, we'll tag team it.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay,
fine.
yeah,
Yes.
so once we go into executive session, I will draft that resolution.
Okay, so that means we'll go back to resolutions 9.1.
And it will just be for the approval of that purchase.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's all of these in
The bulleted points, yep,
Yes.
yep, that'll be.
To the total of
we can do that.
33,000.
That's fine,
Thank you.
yep. All right, so then for right now, I'll just move on, unless there's additional conversation, to the next resolution.
Next resolution.
Okay, so this is resolution approving abstract number 11.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
None.
Have none.
Mr. Slota?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hilbert?
No.
Mr. Warden?
Aye.
And then briefly, just because we have the conversation we just had, I would need a motion to withdraw the first and the second for resolution authorizing standardization of sewer pump purchases to Gold brand pumps that were purchased from Lynn Christensen Company.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
I have none.
None.
No.
Mr. Slota?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hilbert?
Aye.
Mr. Warden?
Aye. Okay.
All right, and then next one is resolution approving Williamson Law form of voucher with modification.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
I'd like to table this one. I still need a discussion with Williamson regarding that portion of it. It is clear that the claimant certification section on the voucher is optional, but I'm not convinced that Williamson's gonna be willing to remove it. They said they can. I'm not sure they're gonna be willing to do that. However, it is still optional to the town board, and I just need to get some clarifications on that. So, asking Williamson to modify a form by resolution they may not have agreed to do so yet is a little premature.
I agree with you on that.
What's the reason that they're not, maybe not willing to remove it?
Because they're saying that's part of their standard form, and they're claiming best practice is something that they would rather not remove from their form. We have follow-up discussions that we're gonna have with them, but they're just concerned about removing that. It is optional. We've reviewed the law, and as we go through the audit process, we're actually making a notation there, actually striking it through the voucher, because it is, even by resolution last February or March, we did not agree that the claimant certification was required. So there is no requirement within the town right now, nor is there one in New York law that requires claimant certification. So this resolution, I think, is just premature at this juncture.
So do we just table it, or does someone has their
Well, I think you're gonna
withdrawal?
need a motion to remove your previous motion to move forward.
Yeah, I would do a motion to remove it because, so that it's not sitting there for vote.
So I'll make a
and then
motion to
just
remove.
table it.
I'd make a motion to remove the resolution approving Williamson Law Form voucher with modification.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
I have none.
None.
Okay.
Mr. Slota?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Aye.
Mr. Warden?
Aye. Make a motion to table it
Second.
till the next meeting? Is that good for you?
Yes.
Table to the next meeting. Any discussion?
None.
None.
Mr. Slota?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Who seconded it?
Jay?
did.
I didn't hear that, that's all.
Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Mr. Warden?
Aye. All right.
Okay, and then the resolution authorizing amendment number 5, that's tabled, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then resolution authorizing partial refund of sewer EDU charges based on corrected EDU calculation for 1036 Upper Front Street.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a conversation from last,
Yeah,
okay,
none.
I'm all set, thank
I
you.
have none.
Mr. Slota?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Abstain.
Mr. Warden?
Aye. That's it, right? I think the other one's just documentation for that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We are going to move on to future board topics.
Can we add the 7-8 meeting for the server resolution for purchase?
Okay. Yep. You want it listed as the same town storage network infrastructure?
That'd be fine, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna have, in the resolutions?
That's for the 24th, right?
Correct. This is for the 24th now, yes. The social media discussion, again, 6:24.
Yes.
Do we, sorry. Do we put that Hometown Heroes banner? I should have the information by then. I think that will be a super short discussion. If we bump it out to July, I won't be able to present that till the second meeting in July because I won't be here at the first.
Could put that on there for new business, because I
Yeah.
think that's new business.
It would be new business, yeah. And I think that's going to be a super short discussion. I don't think I'll have enough information to fill everyone in on what's being talked about, but I don't think I'll have enough based on the whole
Kev,
what
where do you-
road and.
Got to
Really?
start somewhere with it.
Yeah, right. Where do you want to put the resolution for the fire department members?
I think we do it next meeting.
Okay.
Gonna have Nate draft that up.
Do we have to have some work done on that Climate Smart grant? Because I got an email, like a month ago or something, that the DEC thanked us for getting it, but it looked like a whole lot of, somebody has to communicate with the state to give them information back. That's all I know.
Was Alex still doing something with that?
I don't know.
I don't
Because
remember.
all I know, we had to do a lot of stuff to get the grant, paperwork-wise.
Yeah, I don't know where that went because I haven't received anything else on it. I've been working on all the other grants. So
Yeah,
I look at, there's only so much time in a
Yeah.
day.
No, I just,
I mean, maybe we ask Alex for where he recalls that left off, and then that's a starting point.
Maybe it's having trouble.
So maybe that is the update, that Alex hasn't gotten a response.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
just-
but let's ask him the status of it then.
So we need a, so you want that on there for the next meeting?
Yeah, do you want me to reach out to him and CC you?
Sure, you can.
Okay.
I mean, I can. So you want climate smart grant update
Yeah, I'll run that.
under old business?
Perfect.
We're gonna need a resolution for standardizing, pump purchase, correct?
Yes.
EDU public hearing, second week in August, correct?
Yeah, so I think we, put the EDU information back on there again, under old business. And then we can pick the date. Hopefully I'll have information on the postcards.
Can I add something to the agenda for a future topic? I sent out the generator RFP that has came back in. I take it in front of the board with a recommendation.
When do you wanna do that?
I have it ready whenever we can get it down there.
What's the board wish?
Let's see why we can't do that next meeting.
No.
Just the RFP, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Next meeting, 6/24.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just to go back to the public hearing for the EDUs, the meeting that we're talking about in August is the 19th. So if we've got to have 30 days onto that, I just backing that in, that means that we've got to do something no later than July 22nd. And that's 4 weeks, that's not even 30 days, so we're talking about July 8th is, so we're close.
So we have to have everything in order for the next meeting, if we're gonna pick that date. It's not saying we can't pick a farther out date, but if we're gonna pick that date for the next meeting,
Yeah.
then we have to be sure that we're gonna be able to distribute the postcards and with the information.
Can we try?
Yeah, no, I'll bring all the information back I can next meeting, and we can make a decision on that.
Because it's really just for the next, the only thing that we need to decide on is the date of the public hearing.
Yes, but I
Yeah.
think we need to have the
Yeah.
backup if we can meet that date.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Do we have a status on the, or did we have a discussion last week about the vestibule?
We did have a discussion last week about the vestibule, and the thought was maybe meet with Alex and kind of have a discussion of kind of some of the other things that were talked about, and then maybe have him reach out to Keystone and do a kind of an alternate design, if you will, just to see where we would be going with that. You know, we've had some discussion in the past regarding, you know, having access from the elevators from the vestibule and doing something up on the second floor to kind of create some security. So Alex was unclear on some of that. So what I was gonna do is just send an email out to Alex and kind of discuss some of those options to put in there. And, you know, they would, kind of a two-option scenario. but there's also some other detail that he needed to do within the clerk's office and the water department for window access. So I think he was pretty close from what I saw, but I didn't see a ton of detail in terms of what's needed going to be reworked, particularly on the water department side.
No, and that's okay. Do we get an update at the next meeting? or-
Absolutely.
or-
There's no reason why we can't get an update as the next
So
meeting.
let's put that back on under
Yeah, we
old
can put
old
that,
business.
we can
Old
put that
business.
back on, absolutely, to get an update of where that's going.
Okay.
Old business. Also, do we put the voucher claim form?
Oh, yes,
Do
please.
you want under resolutions or under old business?
You can put it under old business right now, that's
Okay.
fine.
I'm gonna need a resolution for next meeting authorizing the bond payment for the sewer plant to be paid for out of fund balance because of the 2% tax cap. I'm not able to pay it with the money that we collected for the taxes.
Oh.
Has to be paid by, so there has to be a resolution authorizing that fund balance be used to pay that.
That's what we gotta do.
Is there a fund balance report that can go with that?
Trying to get everything cleaned up so we can get a fund balance report.
Okay. Nope, understood.
And to adjust, we're gonna have, so the new process is gonna be, they have a form, the bookkeeping company has a form, and they'll work with each department head, if they have a line that's short, that's under, they will work with them, fill out the form, the department head will sign how to fix that line, and explain why it's that way, and then they'll come to me as a supervisor, I will sign it, then it will be a resolution to the board authorizing it.
Okay.
Which I thought was a great procedure.
That's a great procedure.
But we just gotta get going.
So Nate had one item he wanted me to note, you may wanna ask him for additional detail on it, but he, needed a future resolution for scheduling action on appropriation for the unexpended fund balance, to pay sewer appropriations.
That was-
because the town needed the override. I wasn't sure if you caught that.
That was the one I just brought up.
Oh, sorry.
I talked to Nate today, that's why, that's why he said, he probably figured I'd forget to bring it up, that's why he told him.
I spoke to him like very briefly today, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss that one thing, but make sure I didn't miss.
Yep, we got that one. All right, does anybody have anything else for future topics? I think we got enough on there for the next meeting.
I'm fine.
Okay. All right, what do you want to do first?
So I have the
Oh,
resolution.
oh, you want to do that?
I can just read it line by line, so I'll do the full resolution to make sure everybody hears it. So resolution approving the purchase of water pump parts and components from Lane Christensen Company. So the town board of the town of Shenango duly convened in regular session June 10th, 2026, does hereby resolve as follows. Whereas the town operates and maintains water pumps, infrastructure, and pumping equipment as part of its water system operations. And whereas the town has received a quote from Lane Christensen Company dated May 18th, 2026, for the furnishing of replacement water pump equipment and related components, including certain items already installed on May 4th, 2026, at an estimated total cost of $33,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the purchase from Lane Christensen Company pursuant to its quote dated May 18th, 2026, the following items for water system use. 6-inch pipe and 6-inch nipple installed 5/4/2026 at a cost of $950. New Gould's 7 THC 6-stage pump at a cost of $8,150. New 100 HP SS 460 volt motor at a cost of $19,950. New 6-inch check valve, pipe and nipple at a cost of $3,950 with an estimated total of $33,000. And be it further resolved that the supervisor, superintendent, and such other town officials as may be necessary are hereby authorized and directed to take all actions necessary to effectuate the purchase and to make payment therefore from budget line F8320.400. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
None.
I've got two questions. One, why is it estimated?
mean, if that's the exact cost, I wasn't sure if there was a particular reason that it was estimated, but I can take out the word estimated.
I think it should be out, so that, because we've got those numbers, it shouldn't be estimated.
That's fine. So I made that change.
There's two places that appears.
Yep, I took it out in both.
And then, I would like to see the other quotes that were obtained as part of the record for this resolution, to have all the quotes attached to this, because this is done before the standardization issue, so it being a resolution, just make sure that we've got the procurement policy covered.
That'll be on you. All the quote. What? But all the quotes should be going to the clerk's office. We went over this. All the quotes that everything should be going to the clerk's office.
Yep. Nope, so
And the total is exactly 33,000. Yeah, if
So
you
do-
total all that up,
I did, and that's why,
yeah, it shouldn't have been estimated.
So do they need to amend their motion and second for the
Yeah.
estimated?
Yeah, so just amended to exclude the estimated, and it was excluded in 2 locations.
okay. I'm
Then
all
I'm-
set.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and amend the resolution to remove the word estimated in 2 locations. In the resolution authorizing, you'd have to read that to me, Gina, because I don't have it.
Purchase of water pump
Pump.
parts and components from William Christensen Company in the form previously read, excluding 2 locations in which estimate was included.
Thank you.
Second.
So,
All right.
Dave's got it.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I just looked back. All of these are in the Town Board 27 May agenda PDF. All those quotes are here, so in theory, they're there. They just would need to be reattached to this.
Okay.
But I'm looking at them right now, Greg, so you're good.
Okay.
Mr. Slota,
Aye.
Mr. Simonis,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert,
Aye.
Mr. Warden.
Aye.
Will you send that to me, Gina?
Send that to the.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for your email, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so I have requests for attorney-client session in reference to legal advice in the ordinance office. I mean, I don't know how else you want me to word this. I mean,
I think that if we're adjourning for attorney-client privilege, then that is fine.
is that fine? Okay, I just didn't
From-
know if you guys wanted more information on it. Do we,
Attorney-client privilege, right?
yes.
This is not an executive session. This is attorney-client privilege, not an executive session.
Yes, I think it's going to be quick. I think it's just going to be.
Okay.
Yep.
Attorney-client privilege? Okay.
So you wouldn't adjourn the meeting, we're just going into attorney-client privilege.
Yes.
And then we will come back and do executive sessions? Because there's
Yeah, depending
there's
on
2
what
we
they-
have to do.
Yeah, you're gonna need to.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need to vote on this?
For attorney-client privilege now.
Okay.
I don't know what the 2 issues are there, so I don't know.
Well, the one was what Nate sent you. There was a safety committee complaint.
Mhm.
And then the other one is a contractor personnel issue.
That don't
That's
involve
only going
the-
to be, it doesn't involve.
Oh,
Adam, is your email just the town clerk at Newtown and Shenango? Is that your email? Good. Yeah. Yep. I just sent that, yeah, no, I'm going, I just wanted to send this before I.
Before they lock you out.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to have an attorney-client privilege without an
Jay.
attorney.
Jay. Jay.
It's fine, I'll just knock a bit loud if I have to. I'm not a quiet person, so.
You're gonna have to, because it's locked.
Can we do the executive sessions together? Can we
Yeah.
go into executive session for
Yeah.
2 different items?
Yes, so it would just be X and Y.
All right, so we need to go into, request to go into executive session for a complaint made to the safety administrator of the town by an employee, and then to go in executive session for a contractor, an employee of a contractor of the town, for advice by the board on that, an issue with an employee of a contractor. Because what the contractor, the employee of the contractor has, I don't know how to advise this, but it's not public.
Accusations?
There's no accusations. There's, they were arrested. And the boss or the supervisor of this employee contacted the town, wanted to make sure the town was aware. So it's basically what I need to explain to you. It's fine, whatever. Let's just go into the one. I'm just going to the one.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
I'm just trying to do what people call me all day long to do.
Yeah.
So, just trying to be.
All right, let's do the one. What was the one for? The first one was for an executive session.
Complaint to the safety
A complaint to the safety committee. Okay. So you're making a motion
Make a
to.
motion to go into executive
I second.
session for complaint to safety.
Yes?
Aye.
Roll. Aye.
Aye.
Second.
I didn't know about it.
find that out?
You're in the wrong part of the world, maybe.
Dang.
SpaceX is about to go public.
Oh, really?
Interesting. Yes. Pretty enough going to camera.
Oh my God, it's like sauna in here. Karen, how are you doing it, man? I would be asleep.
All right, 7:56, right? 7:56?
Thanks for bringing it up.
Gene made a motion to adjourn executive session, I seconded, all are in favor. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss a potential security issue with a contractor.
I second that.
I still don't know how that fits into an executive session discussion. What's the topic that it falls into?
So arguably, and I mean, I've seen it used this way before, if it's a contractor that's with town, it would potentially fit under, the employment exception, in that the employment exception allows for discussion with regard to hiring, firing, employment of certain individuals or corporations. So you could theoretically fit it under that exception.
Not looking for theoretical, I need it.
Well, I don't have enough information
Me
without
neither.
talking about
Is
it on public record.
Is it hiring, firing?
Potentially, it is. It's potential dismissal of a regarding a potential security issue.
Yeah, so I think that would be able to fit under the potential hiring, firing of a corporation, because corporation is specifically included in that exception.
All in favor?
Aye.
Real quick.
You're down in Binghamton, right?
Yeah,
By
down
the
like
number
the
5 thing down there?
Conklin Ave area.
Manny's Norman, yeah, he just changed names because he just bought, what the heck is it? Goes by Manny's and something else.
Yes, it does, yeah.
I can't think of the name of it. But it's on Vestal Ave there.
Birchie's?
Virtue, yeah. Good call.
Went to the Greek Fest this weekend for the first time.
Did you?
Yeah. You ever been? You ever been?
Yeah.
The food, I don't know, the food is all right, but those like honey puffs they got,
Yeah,
that was worth the trip.
yeah, that's good.
That was worth it. That was cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
All right, we're back into a regular session. Anybody have anything else to discuss tonight?
We just need to make the, notice for the minutes on motion and second times.
You said 8:05?
It was,
Luke second. You made the motion for,
no, I didn't.
oh,
I
Kevin.
made the motion
I'm
to go
sorry,
back in.
Kevin, yeah.
And I seconded it. at
That,
8:05.
okay, all right, that's what it is, sorry. Kevin did it. Okay,
And I'm all in favor on it.
Yep.
All right, anything else to discuss tonight?
oh, good.
Anybody motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Gina.
Absolutely.
You're gonna take this from me, right? Like, that was so much fun, I want them all.
It's really tempting, really.
Yeah, yeah. Why, what are you normally doing every other Wednesday?
Actually, I normally have a planning board meeting, but it got canceled, so Nate got lucky. gonna eventually